Hi, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ella Eve or Ivy. Either way, I'm still trying to decide what my middle name is. Anyway, I was called to pop on here because I was getting ready to do some filming for TikTok. I'm getting ready to do a learn astrology series, just taking people that love astrology and just diving deeper into the craft, into the knowledge of astrology. So as I was getting ready to set up for that filming sequence, this grand rising, actually, it started about 2 a.m. I don't know about you guys, but sleep has been very evasive, especially with all these electrical currents happening with the new moon in Aquarius. There's just so much energy that you can just feel. Um, Aquarius rules the electric system, the nervous system as well. So, really been taking those Epsom salt baths, those magnesium flake baths, using the essential oils, just really grounding, going outside, taking the shoes off because there's so much energy coming in. And if anybody wanted to jump on here, I just wanted to invite you guys to come on in. I have the comment section on. So I'm using StreamYard, which is kind of a new technology that I'm starting to play with. So again, thank you guys for your patience as I'm navigating these currents of technology. And there's a couple of things happening today, guys, that are really significant that I wanted to share with you and talk to you about and just reflect on and just see if you guys can connect to anything, um, any of these energies that I might be sharing, because it's such a powerful stream of current of energy that we're in right now. And in my sleepless state, I wanted to just kind of tell you how my guides, my inner guidance system sometimes work. I don't know if you guys can relate. Maybe in the comments below, you can write down if any of this relates to you. Do you ever get woken up in the middle of the night with like aha moments or a song in your head, or you just wake up and you're like wide awake and you're like ready for the day and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing up? I just went to bed like at 11. What's going on? Well, that's kind of where my energy has been. And so what I did was I was called to jump on my phone, which normally I don't like to be on technology after a certain time, but for whatever reason, sometimes these guidance systems, these activations kind of come up, and my inner guides will tell me, "Hey, go watch this video, or go do this, or go drink that water, or go," just it kind of puts me on assignment a little bit for the energy that I'm feeling to help navigate it. And so I kind of started scrolling through TikTok at 2 o'clock in the morning. I know, we're not supposed to do that, but I found myself scrolling on TikTok at 2 in the morning. And I came across this creative that was talking about, and it's funny, she never mentioned these words, but she just kept pointing to them because I guess she didn't want it to get taken off of TikTok. And a lot of the things that, like the documentaries that most people that YouTube censors, or even Facebook censors sometimes, can be found on the platform Rumble. And so she led me to this video that she just pointed to, and it was called "Enjoy the Show." Right. So check it out on Rumble. Enjoy the show. And it's kind of an interesting documentary about, I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole with it, but pretty much it's about how the CIA and Hollywood have been working um, pretty intimate for a long, long time, and just talking about the dynamics of propaganda and war. And so that was an interesting sort of rabbit hole that I was told to go down at 2 o'clock this morning for whatever reason. I just trust that, that came into my field. And, I just take everything. I use my filtration system when I ingest or merge with any content that I see. I just sort of use my discernment and use my filtration system before I just say this is fact, right? But just knowing that there's some transits happening right now, that we just came out of Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn, which now Pluto is in Aquarius, which is all about revelation. It's about technology, invention. But we've also got the planet of Saturn in the sign of Pisces. Now, Pisces rules movies, right? Rules art, and Saturn is our structure. So the fact that, and we still have Venus right now and Mars in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled, it rules big government, right? It rules structure, and it's ruled by this planet Saturn. And it's also co-ruled by Uranus as well. So, all that being said, these are all, configurations, astro talk, but how does this relate to maybe some of the energies you guys might be feeling, or what we could all be feeling at this time? And also, how does it relate to, because we've got the new moon in Aquarius, which we know new moons are about new seed points, new beginnings. We've also got a new season, a new cycle, annual cycle of the year of the wood dragon in Chinese zodiac, right? So that's only happens every 60 years. I believe when I was researching, the last time it happened was in 1964, was the year of the wood dragon, because each of the Chinese zodiac signs have different elements that it's attached to as well. It's not just the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac, it's actually their elements as well. So the last time that the wood dragon in particular was around was in 1964. Okay, so it happens every 60 years. So we're not going to see the wood dragon again for another 60 years. So I kind of superimpose that knowledge about what I know astrologically happening, new moon in Aquarius, with the Chinese zodiac, which is happening with the new moon, or the new wood dragon year. But then I also study the Mayan calendar, for those of you guys who've been following me for a while. And we are in the middle of a 10-day, which is called a gap sequence. And gap stands for Galactic Activation Portal Days. And what's very interesting about that is that we only have 52 of those per 13 months per the Mayan calendar system. So the fact that we're on a 10-day cycle right now, we're on day 7 of this gap sequence day portal. And basically it's for the Mayan calendars, that's what it says it is. It's a portal. It's an opening of energy, of consciousness. So the fact that we're in a new moon in Aquarius. Sorry, I'm trying to read it to you what it says. Stop. Get out of that. Sorry. It's my okay. Because it keeps glitching here. Okay, so today's gap day, it reads this way. And I wanted to read to you some of the things that I pulled. I actually pulled from the Dragon Oracle card deck, which you can see here. So I'm going to do some readings there about the dragons that I pulled, because, it's the wood dragon. And but let me go back to the Mayan galactic activation wave spell day that we're in today. So what it does is the Mayans came up with like a sequence of, think of it like a mantra. So every day, per the 20 seals, per the wave spell, which is 13 days, there's an invocation. There is a mantra for that day, for that particular wave spell. And today, the wave spell, we're in the yellow galactic human, which of course Aquarius is all about humanity and humanitarian affairs. And the mantra for the Mayan calendar says, I harmonize in order to influence, modeling wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the galactic tone of integrity. I am guided by the power of intelligence. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. So this is the energy that it's asking you to enter into, which is, really saying that it's time to be integral with our words, with our thoughts, with what we merge with the information that we connect with on any of the media platforms, because that's also what Aquarius rules, is technology. And the fact that this documentary came into my field talking about how, basically Hollywood and the CIA have been partners for a long, long time, and have been influencing what we watch, what we see, what we are witnessing, and what we feel, right? So they understand the power of our minds. They've been setting our minds for a long time now, not only governing bodies, but Hollywood in general, media, advertising. They want to know how we think, how we click, so that they can sell more stuff to us, right? So this is the consumerism that we're a part of. We're consuming, data, information, movies, television. And so the fact that there maybe has been a very strong influence into those outlets, and influencing every aspect of our lives, might be under consideration now, might be sort of a revelation, like, wow, We think we have sovereignty, or we think we have choice, but do we really? Once we get to know that these media companies are owned by a lot of these big management companies, these are starting to be revealed, especially if you go on to social media platforms like TikTok, who's still pretty open sourced for the most part. I think it's still sort of, filtered, just like everything else is, but just something to consider. Um, about our consciousness, and about how maybe our consciousness has been, I don't know, played with, if you will. Which, again, if you ever watch Livzenastrology, we come from the premise that all is self. So I don't fall for the victim mentality of like, oh, they did this to us, they outside of it. I really feel that they is us, is an aspect of us, because all is self. That is the mantra for this channel, that everything outside of you that you're projecting is a part of you. So why did we create this? Why did we create this mechanism, that perhaps we have been influenced in a certain way? We've been regulated and monitored as to what we're watching, what we're projecting, what we're seeing, what we're being inputted. Our sense of nationalism, our sense of patriotism, how much of that has been contrived, how much of that has been created by media, by movies, by, just different things that, again, check out this documentary. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of fringy, which I like. But so that kind of goes along with the reading, because I also did a card pull. You remember I told you I worked with this dragon oracle deck today, and I pulled some dragon cards. And of course, one of the dragons that I got was the earth dragon, right? So the fact that it's a wood dragon and I got the earth dragon, this is the card, one of the cards that I pulled, but this is the one that's most significant right now that I wanted to share with you. It says, clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. And so what that was showing me is that, to me, the earth is our heart. And when we ground into our heart, we ground into truth. And anywhere that we've had stuck energy in our heart space, which is also in the earth, or the ley lines of the earth. And to me, dragons are electrical currents, because I've done plant medicines before where I've actually seen dragon energy fly into my field. And really what it is streams of electrical energy coming in that has certain formations, and they look like dragons. So I identify dragon energy, if you will, as electrical current energies. So there might be some electrical currents happening within the Earth system right now, especially with Aquarius, with Uranus, with Jupiter and Taurus, with just, the Earth plane. Jupiter is big, it's expansive. And, we've also got Uranus. I believe right now, what sign's Uranus in? Oh my gosh, hold on, let me look on my flow of consciousness. Let me see if I can find out. All right, yeah, Uranus is also in Taurus. Yes, so Jupiter is in Taurus and Uranus is in Taurus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So I know these are all connected. And again, for those of you who follow astrology, you can kind of do your own inner gnosis about what this means. But how I'm deciding to put it together and how it's coming through me, my central channel, is through this connection point to Earth and electricity, and how we need to really be grounded during this time, because there's so much energy coming into the planet through solar flares, through our own current system. I also see electricity, kind of like neural pathways and neurons coming in that are creating neurogenesis. So new neural pathways are being formed right now, just like with the ley line in the earth. It's being cleared. So for those of you that are in your practices of fasting or just cleansing out the body, you can really start feeling these energies in a different way, new thought forms, new patterns of thinking, and new ways of seeing our reality. So the fact that if you find yourself, like people are sending you things out of the blue, or you're coming across, just new awarenesses, new ways of seeing the world that you maybe never have considered before, that's actually what's needed right now. This is part of the big mass collective healing that we're all going through. because another card I actually pulled from also from the Starman Tarot deck, which was gifted to me by my great friend Don Love. Thank you, Don Love, for this amazing deck. And it's based on David Bowie and, you know, working with David Bowie and the artist. I don't know if you guys are ever familiar. For those that like David Bowie, he was very much a futurist. He was very much a starman. He was very much from the stars. And so a lot of the artwork that's in this tarot deck is very just indicative of his energy, which to me is very futuristic. So this is why I chose to work with these decks of cards today, plus looking at the astrology, plus looking at the Mayan calendar system. I call it sort of superimposing the energy. I can navigate my own gnosis as to what's going on, right? Why are we feeling these certain currents? Why are we feeling these certain ways of being? And maybe just give some explanation as to some of the energies that we could all be experiencing at this time. So I wanted to share with you one of the cards that I did pull, which, it's funny. I get all excited, right? I'm like, "Ooh, new moon in Aquarius. It's the, new year of the wood dragon. There's going to be all these amazing things happening." And of course, the first card I pull out is the devil card, right? Well, not to scare people, but the devil card in the tarot just is represented by the sign Capricorns. But this is the energy. This is the artwork of the David Bowie. And so when I was reading about it, it kind of shocked my system. I'm like, devil energy, what's going on here? I thought this was supposed to be like an amazing aha, beautiful current of energy coming in. But basically with the reading that I got with the dragons, with the other cards that I pulled, which was, also I pulled the Nine of Swords, I pulled the Prince of Swords, and then I pulled the Fool in reverse. And I do read reversals when it comes to tarot because it just means how the energy can be inverted. It's like looking at opposites or opposition energy. If you're working with duality, that which isn't at the same time. It's this dual nature of humanity. And so what's coming up, and it was right next to the dragon from Orion. So I actually pulled an Orion dragon, and then right after that, I pulled the devil card. So for those of you that follow star systems and different energetics from perhaps Orion's belt, and there's a whole nother mythos about Orion and the Orion system. Some of that is possibly where our war codes originated on this planet from other systems around us that brought war to the earth. So upon this reading, upon this dialogue with the cosmos, with the energies through my own gnosis, through my own meditations, I was hearing that we all have a collective wound right now. All of us, the wound of the collective that we all are feeling is the wound of war, of where we have um, perhaps through media, through movies, through manipulation of our consciousness, that we have been indoctrinated to think that war is the way, when really it's a way to generate currency. It's a way to harvest current, which is energy. And so this can be a collective wound that we all might be experiencing right now, that we need to look at, that we need to really, really look at, to see, how functional is war anymore? Like, why are we still in these war codes? Why are we still in conflict when the new consciousness that might be arising is that, in fact, we are all one? We are all one human, a human nation. We are not ethnocentric. And yes, we may have different cultures in different places that we originate from, different eye colors, different skin colors, different genders, different preferences, sexual preferences. I mean, yes, we may have different hues of the human, right? But we are all still color. We are all still frequency. We're vibration. We're energy. At the core basis of our humanness, that's the foundational aspect, is we all come and originate from this field of energy, which I call love. And the fact that perhaps we have been at war with each other because of our differences now no longer makes sense. It's almost as if that frequency or that note that's been playing in the background, that we've been bombarded with these frequencies of war, we need to really look at that and ask ourselves, is that where we want to be? Is that what we want to continue on the earth, in our heart space? Remember, earth is heart, right? So anywhere we are at war with ourselves, this is where we're still going to be projecting war to the outside of us. So this is an invitation to come in, and the dragons again are saying that we need to look at our shadow selves. We need to look to see where we're still warring with ourselves, where we are still in blame mode or victim consciousness. And um and does that serve us anymore? We need to ask better questions about our reality, about where we come from, about where we're going, about how this human design, this human energy field works. It's good to start questioning our beliefs and what we believe to be true. And just because you think something doesn't mean that it's right. It's just a thought. So this is a time to ask, where did that thought come from? Is that being projected? Because now science is showing us that our brains are basically like radio receivers. And so we're receiving these frequencies, these codes, these energy waves, and then we interpret it as ours. But is it really? And so these are bigger questions to look at as we are navigating not only the new moon in Aquarius, not only are we navigating the year of the wood dragon, the initiation point, which is today, but we're also navigating this Mayan calendar system, gap day, galactic activation portal, because there's openings happening. There's openings happening within our consciousness. There's happening within our hearts, within our bodies. Again, I would invite you to ground as much as you can, to be on the earth. This is the year of the wood dragon, so be with the earth. Learn to love your body. Learn to love your nervous system, your electrical system. We are bioelectrical beings. So we have the magnetic, which is the feminine. We have the electric, which is the masculine. An electric universe. This is part of what we're starting to come alive to, and perhaps mm, be awakened that it's not necessarily what we think, that there are new ways to be on this earth outside of the war codes, outside of the indoctrination of I call it severe patriotism. Severe in the fact that it makes us so, cultural centric, that it creates division, and again, polarity and duality. And duality is a game. This is all a holographic game, guys, in my opinion, how I've been able to resolve some of the energies and the currents in my own unique perspective. And I do agree with some of the quantum, scientists that are coming up, that are, I feel like we're finally merging spirituality, the metaphysical with the physical, right? The beyond the physical, the stuff that we can't see, that we would, in our ancestry would call magic, because we didn't understand the science behind it. But now, through technology, through advancements in even AI and different technologies that we probably already had, but it has never been released, we're going to start seeing more and more of these technologies be released, right, by our governing bodies, by people that are no longer willing to play the game of coercion or contriving this reality in the way of war. Enough of us now, through our consciousness, are doing the work to stop the war within ourselves. We're learning to love ourselves. We're learning to accept our shadow selves. We're learning to accept, where these points of pain originated, and not just from this lifetime, but if you believe in past lives, many, 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 many lifetimes, ancestral wounds that we're all doing the work to heal our family, genetics, our codes, our DNA that maybe we've tampered with ourselves in a way to try to perfect or create something. And whatever it was that was created before now, with Aquarius, with the dragon energy, with the wood dragon, and now with this Mayan calendar system, it's showing that there is a new operating system coming online. So I liken it to, because we are the technology, right? As above, so below; as within, so without. So, you know, a part of us, the technology that we play with on the phones and our iPhones and our computers, and that technology resides within us, right? So now we're having these new technological advances. That means that there's new ways, new activations, new DNA that can be coming online within our bodies, right? The superhuman, the meta-human, if you will. The parts of us who are, getting our clairaudience more online, or telepathy. These are concepts that it's not just it's that I'm just coming up with. This has been around for a long time, and if you follow beings like Joe Dispenza or Greg Braden or Nassim Harrison, these are some of the beings that I follow, as well as Savan Bomar from Secret Energy, as well as Jason Estes from Into the Void series. These are some of the way showers and beings that I just vibrate with, that I find coherence with, that I resonate with as truth. And again, I use that filtration system, right? And please, anybody that's watching this now or later, please use your filtration system. If any of this aligns and you feel like a truth within you, please take it. It's yours. And if it doesn't feel true for you, please discard it. Again, this is the time for us. True sovereignty is about knowing how to use our filters, knowing how to tap into truth no matter what we see, right? Because we're starting to see with technology that I'm getting more and more playing with editing and putting myself out here more on social media. Man, there's AI out here that can do all kinds of stuff. And I don't want to go too much into it because I'm still learning, but man, it's really it's causing us to really ask, what is truth? What is true for you? What is true truth? And is there such thing as true truth or true reality? Or are we all just creating the reality based on our frequencies, based on, the energy, the vibrations that we're putting out there, we're emanating? That's what we're going to see is real to us. So again, these are just ideas, concepts, things that wanted to be expressed, to be perhaps looked at, considered upon, for those of you that are really feeling the energies of this now time moment with all these configurations in the planets happening. And we can go more into the astrology. And again, I find astrology has been such just a launching point into navigating these bigger questions, into asking these bigger questions about, my reality, about myself, about my environment, about what is true and real. And so I'm really excited to start this series, guys. I'm going to be doing it exclusively on TikTok, I believe, for now. I don't know. I'm still deciding on it. But it's going to be a learning series. It's just going to be, basically learning astrology, the basics for those that want to learn more astrology, that want to dive deeper into these concepts, and whatever you want to play with, right? Because these are all just tools, whether you're using the tarot, or you're using a divination oracle deck, like, the dragon oracle decks, or you're using astrology, you're using the Mayan calendar system. These are all just tools of exploration about you, about your own self, about your culture, about not the individual ethnic culture, but about the human culture, about our psycho spiritual human nature that we've been talking about and saying through stories, through mythos, through mythology. With astrology, it's been through Greek and Roman mythology, through the Mayan calendar system. It's been through Mayan and Aztecian astrology, or mythos rather. So again, these are just ways, tools, writings, studies to learn about yourself, to study yourself, to know more about your connectedness to everything. Because truly, if if you get to a certain space in consciousness through either breath work or meditation or plant medicine or just your own gnosis, that we are connected to everything, this is the time, especially with the new moon in Aquarius, about learning to collaborate, to connect, to see everybody as divinely you, as a part of you, as part of this symbiotic, synchronistic system that we're all connected to. None of us are exempt from being connected. We are connected one way or another. And so this is the time to really explore, what does that mean for you? How does that look? How do we want to navigate moving forward? Do we want to continue with these war codes, these indoctrinations, these movies, if you will, these projections that have been basically just feeding this war machine, right? It's just creating. It's like a money system that just doesn't make any more sense. It doesn't make sense to continue to be in this realm the way it is. It's not sustainable. Enough of us don't want it. So we've got to continue to do the inner work to see where you're warring within yourself, to find forgiveness, to find grace within not only your own humanness, your own shadows, but the shadows of others, because we're all learning how to relate and how to be in community, because this is also Aquarius, right? How do we learn to get along and realize that we are all part of the human family? And I don't know. I feel like once we can resolve that within us and really connect to that aspect of selves, then we can start meeting other family members, like galactic family members that might be coming in, for those of you that really feel that we're not alone on this planet, that we have never been alone. That will start opening up the gateway and the portal and the pathway to invite in these other aspects of self that are living outside of the extraterrestrial, means extra earth, beyond the earth planes, whatever that means, whether it's spherical or flat for you, it doesn't really matter. It's beyond, it's the metaphysical aspects. So anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and invite in a conversation, a consideration of the energies that are happening, just to bring awareness that if you're feeling, you know, any kind of anything, that there are some reasons, there are some frequencies happening right now. And just to give you a little more understanding and clarity as to maybe how to navigate them, some questions to ask yourself, some ways to get to go in and to nurture and to find what is true for you, and to love yourself more, because when you love yourself more, you can love us more. And that really is what's needed right now. Is we need more love on this planet. We need more love within our hearts. Again, our heart is our earth, and that's what's going to help navigate this whole matrix. So, in my humble opinion. Anyway, thank you guys for connecting. I'm not sure if I see any comments here. I don't see any on the StreamYard, so maybe there's some. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for connecting. I love you guys so much. And please, if you want any more insights, just collaborations, please check out Livzenastrology, Livzen and Livzenastrology. I'm starting an e-commerce store, so I'm going to share more information about that coming up soon. And it's just so grateful for you guys spending time here, time and space with me today. I'm so grateful, and I love you guys so much. Many blessings to you. All right, bye.